Okay, everyone, we have a very important BOI beneficial ownership information reporting update for you guys. This video is being recorded on December 24th, Christmas Eve. News came out December 23rd, and I am here to get you this information as fast as possible. So before we go any further, just a reminder, I'm a CPA and not a lawyer, and none of this constitutes legal advice. Okay, the big news is that the nationwide injunction on the enforcement of the Corporate Transparency Act, which is what kind of made all of us have to do this BOI reporting, that injunction has now been legally stayed. So what that means is that basically the injunction has been negated by this legal stay, and that we have to all now comply with the Corporate Transparency Act again, okay? So when that injunction happened a few weeks ago, we all said, hey, this is temporary, and then we found out that it was being appealed by the government, and they have won in a federal appeals court, and so now we are back to square one, so to speak, that the Corporate Transparency Act needs to be enforced, and that it is enforceable, and that there will be penalties if you do not comply. So I wanted to get this information out to you as quickly as possible because a lot of you have waited to file because you said, hey, I don't think it's going to happen, I don't need to. And then Fincen itself has basically said, you know, hey, it's voluntary reporting while we are under this injunction, but now Fincen has basically said, yes, you do need to now comply because of this, this appeal process that happened. And now they're saying we have a couple of shifting deadlines, but it's not a lot of time. So what I want to do is I want to read you what is on the Fincen website so that you guys can hear it straight directly from them. I'm not making any of this up. You can go to fincen.gov/BOI and you can read this for yourself, but I will give you guys the highlights here. In light of a December 23rd, 2024 Federal Court of Appeals decision, reporting companies, except as indicated below, are once again required to file beneficial ownership information with Fincen. However, because the Department of Treasury recognizes that reporting companies may need additional time to comply given the period when the preliminary injunction had been in effect, we have extended the reporting deadlines as follows. So here's a bulleted list here. Reporting companies that were created or registered prior to January 1 have until January 13th, 2025 to file their beneficial ownership information reports with Fincen. Otherwise, these companies would have had to report as of January 1, 2025. Second, reporting companies that were created or registered in the United States on or after September 4th that had a filing deadline between December 3rd and December 23rd, which is basically when that injunction was happening, have until January 13th, 2025 to file their beneficial ownership information reports. Reporting companies created or registered in the United States on or after December 3rd or on or before December 23rd have an additional 21 days from their original filing deadline to file their initial beneficial ownership information reports with Fincen. Reporting companies that qualify for disaster relief may have extended deadlines that fall beyond January 13th, 2025. These companies should abide by whichever deadline falls later. Reporting companies that are created or registered in the United States on or after January 1st, 2025 have 30 days to file their initial beneficial ownership information reports with Fincen after receiving actual or public notice that the creation or registration is effective. Okay, so basically all of those situations, they're saying if you file after January 1st, you are just kind of back to square one with the rules that they put into place, which has always been 30 days after January 1st, 2025. And then they have one other exception here, and that's if you are, as indicated in the alert titled Notice Regarding Small Business, National Small Business United versus Yellen, plaintiffs in this case in particular are not required to report. So if you are part of that particular case and you were a plaintiff, you do not have to comply, but that's gonna be not very many of us. You would know if you are part of that group, okay? So what this notice is telling all of us is it's telling all of us that we need to go and comply with the Corporate Transparency Act, and we need to put our beneficial ownership information into Fincen's database, and we need to file that report so that we can be compliant and that we do not we do not trigger these penalties that are threatened. Now, the penalties are over $500 a day, up to $10,000, and up to 2 years in prison. So there is a pretty stiff penalties if you do not comply with this. So what I recommend clients doing at this point is to go ahead and file. This is, again, a decision for you to make. If you think that somehow this is not going to go through and maybe there's going to be another government action that might take this down, that is up to you. You can make that choice. If you want to wait till the very last day, that is up to you. However, I would recommend nobody doing that. I would recommend going ahead and getting your information in. If you haven't already, go ahead and file your BOI report. I have a fantastic DIY video that I'm going to show you what it looks like here. This is the thumbnail. This video has helped thousands of people save hundreds of dollars and do it yourself, so you don't have to pay a lawyer or an accountant or somebody to do this for you, okay? There's lots of services that are claiming that you do this. If you think that you're not using a service, but then it goes to the end and there's a payment portal, that means that you are using a third-party service and you're not using the Fincen website. So go to Fincen, fincen.gov/BOI in order to get to the right place to file your free report to do this yourself, okay? And that video that I mentioned is going to be the one that will help you do this yourself so you don't have to pay a third party to do it. If you have a complex situation, please consult a lawyer on how to fill this out appropriately, okay? If you cannot do this yourself, please go to a professional who knows what they're doing, okay? That is the information I have for you. Please go and make the right decision for you and your business. I don't want anybody to be shocked that they are going to be penalized because they decided not to do this. So you guys, I'm here for you. I'm watching out for you. I learned about this and I am literally going to be closing this up, editing it, and going to a family gathering for the rest of the day. But I wanted to get this information out to you and make sure that you have the most up-to-date information as possible. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you here as a subscriber so I can keep you up to date on things like this. And also, please join the newsletter list as well, because we will be sending this out to our newsletter list so that they will have up-to-date information. We have until basically January 13th to get these reports in, and that is there's probably not going to be more grace after that. So I think the system will get overloaded the closer we get to that deadline date. Try to get this done sooner rather than later, and I hope that this information is helpful to you. If it is, please give this video a thumbs up and also share this information with any small business owner friends you have, because you want them to also have good information, okay? So please share this with them and tell them about BOI reporting. The Fincen in general has done a very poor job in letting small businesses know about this kind of information, and so that's why I'm here to help you, hopefully, make sure that you know about it, but we've got to also spread the word and help our communities out, okay? So put this on to business. If you have other groups of business owners, if you have Facebook groups, if you have other things, feel free to just share this information so that they will know all about it as well, okay? And then be sure to check out the resources below. We're going to have that DIY video that I mentioned, and then some other informational videos so you understand this BOI reporting before you just give your information over. Understand what you're doing, okay? I think that's important for us, right? Okay, well, happy holidays for those of you who celebrate Christmas. I do. Merry Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas to you all. And for everybody else who's celebrating other holidays, happy holidays to you and Happy New Year. And we will see you in the new year. All right, thank you so much. Bye, everybody.